Small law firm marketing. How do you compete against the big guys without the big budget? Hi, my name is Casey Meraz, and I'm the founder of Juris Digital, a law firm SEO company. I've been helping law firms get found online for over 10 years now. And today we're going to be talking about the methods that you can use as a small law firm to help compete in these competitive markets where you're up against firms that are spending hundreds or hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. So first and foremost, as a small business, again, you don't have the budget or the resources that a lot of these big firms have. So the tips that we're going to talk about today are really geared towards how you can still compete, even given those limitations. So to start off here, the best tip that I can give you up front is starting and marketing a small law firm does require laser focus to have the best results online and offline. So if you're going to hire a lawyer for a personal injury, you might want to hire somebody that has experience in that practice area from a consumer's point of view, right? You probably may not be as inclined to hire somebody that also does criminal and wills and trusts or other family law. So the more that you do, the more you actually end up diluting your services, and the more that you can laser focus and niche in, the more you can become the recognized authority or thought leader in your specific geographic area. So whether you're in a small town or a big town, these are things that you should really take to heart and consider. So the firms that we work with that are the most successful marketing their firms offline and offline have this type of laser focus where they say, hey, we're a personal injury only firm or a criminal defense only firm. And everything that they do as far as their marketing goes is geared around their expertise in that area. So what I mean by that is it's everything from the name of your firm perhaps to your website address to all the content on your website. Google, for example, when it comes to online marketing, also really rewards that. So the more focused that you are, the more topical focus you have on one area, the better you're going to do ultimately and be recognized as an authority. So anything when you're doing as far as marketing goes for a small law firm, don't take shortcuts. That's the number one problem I see probably most often is people saying, I'm going to do this because it's cheaper. Yes, you may not have the same budget as everyone, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't take shortcuts, or that you should take shortcuts rather. You need to take the best approach everywhere and everything that you do, and we're going to talk about that as we move forward here. So there's no easy shortcuts or silver bullets, and buying a lead services through Martindale and FindLaw or NOLO or whoever is typically ineffective, and it depends on who you're working for as a lead generation agency. If you've had one that you've used in the past and had success, definitely continue to use them. But if you haven't and you sign up for one, make sure you ask the questions like, hey, are you sending these leads to other people? And also make sure you have the resources to actually handle these leads. Because when it comes to online marketing or any of these lead generation things, speed is of the essence. If you're not responding within the minute or the second, answering that phone call, you could lose that business. So online shoppers are a little bit picky in that sense, and they're going to look at other firms if they're not getting that instant gratification. So being available is important. So with that infrastructure in place, we really need to talk about where you need to prioritize your marketing efforts. And no matter what I say here today, what you need to do is make sure you're able to track every single marketing effort so you can determine the ROI for that. So it doesn't matter what I say, things are different in each area, and you need to be able to test and say, hey, this worked or this didn't work. So talking first about offline methods, things that we've used in the past are networking events, meeting people, growing your brand, handing out business cards, and then probably tying them to an email list where you can remind them that you exist here in the future, which is something we're going to talk about. Referrals from other lawyers, of course, is a surefire way. And referral partners, if you're working with chiropractors or doctors and PI or whoever those end up being, other people you do professional services with. And then happy client referrals. Your reputation is going to build over time. And then billboards if you're doing some sort of offline marketing. I've seen that actually help again recently here in 2019. And I think that's probably related to just the brand searches. People are typing more into Google about a brand because they saw that billboard. So that's an example of offline turning into online, and you have to remember all of these things must kind of tie together. And then the online marketing methods we're going to talk about today are having your law firm website focused on organic SEO. And when I'm talking about organic SEO, I'm really talking about these links that show up here. Okay. We also have local SEO, which is the 3-pack, which is showing up here. You'll also see this ad. This is a pay-per-click ad. Anytime you click on that, it's going to charge you a certain amount of money. In this case, that cost per click is $46. So if you're in personal injury, that can be hundreds. And so pay-per-click kind of is taken out of the equation for some law firms that can invest in that, or unless they're super laser focused on one practice area and one geographic area. But you have to realize that PI attorneys in these cities, bigger cities, can be spending $10,000, $100,000 a month, or $1 million a month in some cases as well. So it gets competitive and very expensive. And then email newsletters. Again, I was talking about if you're adding people from networking, email newsletters are something you're going to want to focus on. Legal directories. I typed in criminal defense lawyer in this Google search over here, and you see these ads, and then you see these local results here, and then you see organic results. But what's interesting is first we see Wikipedia. That's obviously not a directory. But then we see attorneys.com, and this is also not a directory, but it's a question. What do criminal defense attorneys do? Before we start getting to the law firm websites. However, what you'll find is if you were to type in a modifier to the search like best criminal defense lawyer, you're going to see more directories like Avo and FindLaw, for example, Top Lawyer. So you want to figure out what ranks in your practice area, because ultimately you're going to want to be listed there. And people call that either Barnacle SEO or share of search. So it's somewhere you want to be. And then also for review websites, people are turning online and they're looking to learn about the person that they're going to hire, the law firm or the attorney. So if I were to type that in about your name or your law firm, what would come up? What do those reviews say? That's something that's going to be very important. So, and according to a study we conducted a couple years ago, 50% at that time of people research their legal issue online before hiring a lawyer. So basically why that's important for you as a small law firm is that is a golden egg for marketing for you. If you want to rank organically down here, it's easier to rank for a long tail keyword, which is like a sentence or a question, a longer query, than criminal lawyer or personal injury lawyer. Those will come and they'll come in time, but you're fighting against everyone because everyone wants to rank for that. But fewer people might be typing in a question like what to look for in a criminal defense lawyer, or what does a criminal defense lawyer do? So creating content around those topics, not only will those rank easier on your website, give you an opportunity to rank higher faster, but you're also going to start establishing yourself as an expert. People are doing research, they're reading a well-written article from you, and they know you're the person that I should hire. So when we're talking about an online marketing plan for small law firms, we really need to start with your website kind of as the base as far as online goes. So you have to have the best website that you can. And what that really means in my mind is typically a WordPress-based website. It's the most common content management system out there. Basically, I'm trying to tell you to avoid things like Squarespace or Scorpion or Wix or GoDaddy, although they do offer WordPress hosted websites, because in those other cases, you typically don't own your website. You can't take it if you don't like the provider, or you can't edit it if they give it to you because it's based on a proprietary platform. WordPress is something that any web developer can work on. So if you spend the money up front, get it done right, you're going to be golden. And talking about getting it done right, lightning fast is important. So the longer that a website takes to load, the slower you're going to show up on search results. And you have to remember, Google's actually looking at the mobile version of your website first. And in addition to that, the more important thing, honestly, is if it takes too long to load, you've lost that client. They're going to your competitor. People are lazy. They want that instant gratification, and your website needs to load fast. That's probably the number one single biggest mistake I see law firm owners make, is taking a shortcut on cost on that website, using a theme that's pre-built, but it's bulky and slow and has errors, and it just shoots them in the foot every single time. So responsive is also the name of the game. And what that means is the browser is just going to respond based on whether they're on a mobile device or perhaps a tablet or computer, and it's just going to be one website. You don't want a mobile website that's different than your desktop website in the sense that it's hosted on a different domain like m.yourlawfirm.com. That just usually is a recipe for a lot more work. There's a right way to do it, and it's fine, but for the purposes of what you're doing here, definitely avoid that. You want your website to be secure, and you want to use the modern day SEO plugins. I use Rank Math and Yoast personally. Both those are ones that I like, and they kind of help guide you on how the optimization should look on page for each one of your websites. And most importantly, you really need to make sure that Google Analytics is installed, and you need to set up those goals. You have to have the data for who's coming to your website, what channel they're finding you from. Was it from a paid ad, or was it from local, or was it from organic, so that you can see if they converted. And that goes into call tracking. Make sure you have call tracking set up. You can sign up for callrail.com, and it's not going to cost you very much money, and you can get all that data that you need. And you need a fast website host for this website to reside. That's why I was bashing on GoDaddy earlier, because if you have it on their servers, you might be paying $5, but you're getting $5 worth of service. So we recommend companies like Kinsta or WP Engine for that. So also, again, avoid bulky framework and themes. Have a proper site structure. Don't over-optimize your website. People get too caught up in the thought of keywords and adding them everywhere. Everything has to be natural. You're marketing your firm and talking about not taking shortcuts. How do you want your firm to be portrayed online? You want it to read professionally. You want it to read like you're the expert, not like English is, your third language and you're just very salesy. Nobody likes that. And you want to avoid duplicate content. Don't take content from other sources and put it on your website. Make sure it's original for you. And use structured data. We have a tool generator on our website that you can use, actually right up here under tools. If you want to add the review link generator or the review schema, you can do that directly from our website for free. And add customer testimonials. If you have videos, that's even better. If your customers are raving about you, you got to get that information online and into reviews so potential customers know who they're hiring. And of course, make sure that your website is error-free. So that's kind of like the base of a website, but really it boils down to doing great keyword research too. You can't have a great website that's not going to rank for anything, and it's not going to rank for anything unless you know what keywords people are typing in. So in this example over here, I've installed this cool little free Chrome plugin. It's called Keywords Everywhere, and you can just Google that, Keywords Everywhere Chrome plugin, and it's going to show up search volumes and cost per click averages for each keyword that I type in. So no matter what I type in throughout the day, I'm going to see these. And this is a great way to get inspired with topic ideas. Another great way to figure out if you should create content is figure out what questions the people on your phones are answering regularly. That information should be on your website. If any question that somebody asks you, that's probably a content opportunity, and you just have to figure out how to phrase it using one of these keyword tools. You can also use tools like Ahrefs or SEMrush and get some ideas for keywords there as well. And when you're writing the content on your website, you really want to write great content that answers your users' questions. So I think the biggest problem with content is people write for SEO when really, you need to think about the intent of what that person was looking for. If they're Googling best PI attorney or best criminal defense attorney, when they land on this page, they better find the information they're looking for. And in this case, it's probably not the best result in my opinion, Avo, but it is a listicle of where somebody could find a best quote unquote criminal defense lawyer. But really, if this page was on your website, you might talk about the qualities of what makes you good. Obviously, you're regulated by the state bar on what you can and can't say, but you would want to maybe say, hey, these are the highlights, reasons why you should hire me, and then that would also be a perfect place for your awards and client testimonials and things like that. So another great area of opportunity for you, for any law firm, is showing up right here because these clicks are free. So this is the 3-pack that I mentioned earlier. This is powered by a product called Google My Business. And that's how you would manage this listing and create it. You want to make sure you don't have a duplicate, so you only want to create one listing no matter what, of course, and make sure that there's only one for your law firm and that all the information is unique to you. There's also some hurdles to this potentially. There's a lot of other lawyers in your office that are the same practice area. It may only show one. So having an office location is a big important thing here, and you have to have one to have this listing. But not only that, proximity plays a role. Where is the searcher physically searching from? So if I'm searching from here in Parker where I am versus Denver, Colorado for personal injury lawyer, I'm going to get different results because Google's going to localize my search to some extent. On desktop computers, that might be the city or neighborhood. On a mobile device, it could be their precise GPS location. It is possible to rank across a wide geographic area, but that's going to come in over time as you build the authority, build links to your website, and continue to grow. So make sure you fill that out completely. Geotag your photos if you can. You can use a free EXIF generator, which is something I'll mention in my book that you can take a look at. And then get listed again where everyone's looking. So that might be Yelp or FindLaw or HG or Avo or Justia or Yellow Pages, but it also in your city might differ. So if I typed in personal injury lawyer here versus in Los Angeles, I might see different directories show up. So be everywhere you can be. And you really need to focus on your online reputation. So ranking in that 3-pack that I showed you, this has a big part of it. If potential clients, or sorry, previous clients that were happy left a review and mentioned the practice area and geographic area that you're in, that's golden. That's going to help your listing rank for more diverse keywords. So have them leave their own natural reviews, but definitely do that. So your review priorities are really going to be Google My Business, because that's what's going to show up most when people are typing in your business name. Yelp, of course, as much as I hate them, Yelp doesn't actually allow you to solicit reviews, so you got to be careful there. Avo, you can solicit reviews directly from their platform. And then Google your law firm name or the name of the attorneys and say plus the word reviews and see what ranks in your area. Make sure that you're getting reviews there too, because people are looking for that. I already mentioned setting up strong goal tracking. That's Google Analytics, like I was talking about goals, but also CallRail. Gravity Forms is another easy one that you can use. There's a WordPress plugin, and you can connect that to Google Analytics very simply. And then after your foundation is solid, that's really what we were talking about, you can work on building your house, which is, I have this very strong website. I have my Google My Business listing. Now what do I have to do day over day, week over week, month over month to really boost the authority of your website? And really that boils down to a few major things. This is a simplified version, of course, but if you do these things, you're going to be putting yourself on the right track. Number one, create good content that is really geared around your user's intent, answering their questions. So create an editorial calendar, maybe that ends up being one good piece a week from you. That's it, something like that, something that has a keyword volume so you know people are searching for those because you're using that plugin I told you about, keywords everywhere, you know people are typing that in and how many times per month, and focusing your efforts there. And then content is great, but Google still judges the authority of a website in large part by link earning. So that may be, you may have heard that in the past, called link building, backlinks, a lot of different names for it, inbound links, whatever. And so what that is that's when another website links back to your website. That acts as a vote of authority. So if you're in Los Angeles, if your law firm's there, and you were mentioned by the Los Angeles Times, that link's coming from a very authoritative hyper-local newspaper and coming to your firm, that's a big upvote, okay? So you want to build links to your website in what would be kind of a natural fashion. You don't want to buy these. That is against Google's guidelines, and they will penalize you, which is the worst thing that you can do. Don't do stuff like that. Don't take shortcuts like I already talked about. But here are some things that you can do right away. You can do scholarship link building, and that would be where you put a page on your website and then you say, hey, we're going to give away a $500 or $1,000 scholarship this year to students entering college based on this criteria. Writing an essay, 1,000 words of safe driver, of why you want to be a safe driver or why you want to go to law school. And then a lot of these universities or K-12 schools have links to external scholarships. You simply find the contact information, find the page on their website, outreach to them, ask them to post your listing, and in a lot of cases they will. We also work with companies that do things like sponsoring free cab ride campaigns. And that one sounds scary for a small law firm because you're probably thinking, well, I'm not going to pay for 10,000 cab rides on a holiday for drunk people to get home. Typically, when we set up these campaigns, we set the thresholds. Maybe it's 100 tickets we give away. Maybe it's 300. And the claim rate typically is about 30%. So you can get the big PR from an event like this without the cost. And then there's also legal directory links, community links, sponsorship links. If you donate to a cause, in a lot of cases, they will link back to your website under their sponsors page. It's free marketing. Your logo's up there. They're branding you. Take advantage of that. And then we also wrote an article on law firm link building tactics that you can check out on our website. When it comes to Google My Business, having your listing simply isn't enough to rank there. One of the things you need to do is build citations. And this is my Google My Business again. And when I'm talking about citations, that would be your business name, your address, and your phone number listed on third-party websites like Yelp or City Search or Avo or FindLaw, whatever those end up being. I don't even know if City Search is around now that I said that. But anyway, those all act as a vote of confidence because if you're a real business, you're going to be in directories. People are going to know where to find you. So make sure you're listed in the top legal directories and top local directories for your area. And then social marketing, a lot of people do that and they're getting in front of relevant audiences. This depends on your practice area. Social visibility organically is way down on Facebook, but paid ads, of course, are way up, as you know, if you spend any time on Facebook. And that's not for everybody. But if you're doing family law on a shared computer, it wouldn't make sense to remarket to other people that might be using that computer. So think about if it's appropriate for you, but Facebook ads might be a good way to generate consistent leads. Email marketing. That's another thing that you should do at a bare minimum. If your list has one person on it or 100, grow that list. Every time you have a client, ask if they can be added. Every time you talk to somebody, ask if they can be added. And then basically once a month, if you don't have an email marketing plan behind them, just send them an article about tips during safe driving this season, or just, hey, I'm looking for referrals. Let people know that you're looking for that business. Put it out there. And you're going to just get referrals because people know people that are injured and they're always looking to help out their friends, refer that business. You can, of course, if you have the budget, do pay-per-click and do paid legal directories. Those are all going to vary depending on the budget. It's a way to get clicks consistently. It's a way to get clicks faster. And hopefully those are going to turn into clients, but they're not going to unless you followed my steps above and making sure you have a fast-loading website that actually converts. Hope you found this video helpful. Please let me know in the comments if there's anything I could do better. Thanks a lot.